a Studio 113 production.
When do you think we can start coloring our new, remember the big picture we got for October for Halloween?
August 1st counts as Halloween.
It should be out on the table after we're done with those.
I won't even talk about why my house isn't decorated for Halloween. It's somebody's fault. We won't put the blame on them publicly.
Yeah, you were really ready to do that.
I was so ready, and then the box didn't come home, and I was like, oh.
And the bats. Because you have, what, 300 bats?
Something like that.
Okay. Hi, I'm Hannah.
And I'm Courtney.
Join us as we delve into true crime, paranormal encounters, and all things spooky.
Grab your flashlight and get ready to wander into the darkness with us.
This is Wicked Wanderings. We have a special guest today. So hello, Courtney.
Hi, Hannah.
And we have none other than my brother, Jonathan.
Hi.
Jonathan's here with us
So happy to be
today.
back. It's been ages.
It has been ages.
We're so excited. It's been, what, since the beginning of the year since Jonathan's been on an episode?
Right.
Since
It
the holidays.
really has. Yeah, we were talking about the Apalachicola State Killer.
Right, because obviously that dropped after the first, but we recorded that like right before Christmas.
Right, yeah.
And
It
then
was like right before.
But didn't that like really cool documentary come out right after John talked about it? Because I feel like I just watched it. Or was it an old one that I had watched?
I'm not sure. I have a really big backlog of documentaries to watch at this point, to be honest with you guys.
Well, thank you for coming on today and talking
Thanks
about
for
all things
having me.
spooky. All right, so should we talk about this medium thing? I want to know about it.
Yeah, we wanted to talk about something spooky, and
Yeah,
I
that's
mentioned that I recently saw a medium, in the spring. So a little bit of context. So I work as a volunteer at a museum in Boston in the Back Bay neighborhood called the Gibson House Museum. And I've been involved with them since I was in college in Boston since like 2012. So going on like 13 plus years now. It's an extraordinary house. It's a 6-story townhouse in Back Bay, built in about 1860 and occupied by 3 generations of the same family before it became a museum. Lock, stock, and barrel, all of the original furniture.
Gorgeous. Just gorgeous.
Last updates were electricity in about 1912. The last decorative updates were done in about the turn of the century.
An absolute dream.
Courtney, you would die. It's gorgeous.
I'm dying right
Amazing.
now.
It's preserved in what some scholars said in Victorian amber. So like you walk in and it's like the family has just left. So it has the china in there, butler's pantry, there's gowns in the closet upstairs. It's just really wonderful.
When are we going?
Staircase.
When are we going?
Oh, next time you come to Boston, we'll make sure we make an
Sucker
appointment.
for a
Going to
staircase.
Boston.
Let's go.
But it's totally great.
Ship it
and
off
I love
to
it.
Boston. Whoa.
You give her a little bit of music, and this is what happens.
So in the spring, we host our annual benefit, and I was on the benefit committee, and we host it at a private club in the Back Bay, and it changes every year. I can't mention the name of the club this year because it was part of our contract not to mention the name of the club. But anyways,
Really?
yes,
Oh,
we actually got in
bougie.
quite a bit of trouble because we had a little bit of like post PR stuff, like thank you for coming to the benefit at X club, and they actually reached out to us and said you have to take that down. So
I mean, some things just have to be a secret.
Gee.
old money has old rules. So
Yeah,
I can
you're fine.
respect most rules.
But like this club, we took over a series of reception rooms in their ballroom. It was really lovely. We had cocktails, heavy hors d'oeuvres, jazz music.
The outfits people come up with are fantastic.
The theme was Victorian masquerade. So everybody wore masks. When I was in Venice, I bought some masks. My boyfriend did
You
too.
made your own mask.
I made my own mask, and so did my boyfriend, but we also bought masks in Venice, and we wore them throughout the evening. It was a lot of fun.
Can you explain your mask? Because what he did was, when I found out that he made it, I was like, what? Please
So
explain.
when
it.
we
It
were
was
in Venice,
gorgeous.
we did buy masks. My boyfriend bought one that was like, it almost looked like a bishop's mitre and had like musical notes all over it. It was really cool. And then I bought one that was a gilded version of a plague doctor's mask with a really large nose.
I love a plague doctor.
And we were like, we can't eat hors d'oeuvres or talk to people in these enormous masks. So we wore them at the beginning, and then we said we need alternatives. So we had these like very basic just eye masks. And what I did was I actually did molding of all these different like ornamental curls and grapes, vines, and things like that, and leaves. Because in the front hall of the museum, there's this really amazing wallpaper that came from Japan, and it's modeled after leather wall coverings. And it looks like grapes and pomegranates, gilded, and it goes all over the walls. It's really an extraordinary wallpaper. And it was put up about 1890. So I created the mask to reflect that. So it's gilded fruit and vines and leaves all over this mask.
So I believe that my brother is very talented when it comes to artistic things. But when he sent us a picture and was like, oh, I made this, I'm like, you did? Like, really?
You
was pretty great.
beat me to it because I was just about to say, do you have pictures of the mask that you'd be willing to share? Because a lot of times the Wanderers ask for pictures of the things that we talk about. So I try to either post them to a story or post them to our Instagram.
Are you okay with that?
I totally have pictures of it.
Perfect. I will message you for them because I think that would go perfectly.
Because an Etsy account will probably pay like at least $50 to $75 for that mask.
I was just telling him about his creation earlier today that people on Etsy would pay for it.
Yep.
You just need more time.
One of the things that we wanted to do during this, theme of Victorian masquerade was actually have two tarot readers. Ooh. So it was my job as part of the committee to be able to like scope out tarot readers. And now there's two ways to do that. One is there are party companies that have tarot readers who are just there for fun. They're there to read your tarot cards and make sure you have a really good time. And they're just entertainers. They're not really there to read. Right. They're there to entertain you. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, if we're going to do this and we're going to do this with some fidelity, I want to do this authentically. Mm-hmm. So I talked to a variety of different tea houses, as we call them up near, up here in New England. And we settled on one, Regina Russell's Tea Room, which is a really old tea room out of the South Shore. Came highly reviewed, worked with some lovely people there, and they sent two tarot card readers. So I was one of the first people to sit down with one of the tarot card readers. Not only did he read my tarot cards, but he also was a medium. And he said things that I came with a little bit of apprehension. I enjoy having my tarot card read, but I was not expecting the mediumship part. And he told me all sorts of things that other people would not know. But the most exciting thing I thought, and the kind of the scariest thing, was that he said, there's an older gentleman standing behind you who says he wants you to know he's here, and his name is Richard. Do you know who that might be? Well, I don't know anyone named Richard. There's no grandfather named Richard. There's no uncle. No one who's deceased whose name's Richard. And within a minute, it came to me. The last generation who owned the Gibson House Museum, whose benefit this was for, his name was Charles Hammond Gibson Jr., and he was a gay man who lived quite openly until he died in the 1950s. And I often say he was my first boyfriend.
Because of all the work you did.
All the work I did there, all the evenings I spent there alone.
Because he was a tour guide and everything, too.
He was a poet. He was a writer. He wrote fiction. He wrote biography.
If you could just summon him,
lectured.
Right?
And, there's several portraits of him in the house. And we just had this wonderful, I've been to his grave. We had this wonderful kinship. So I was like, oh, he's my first boyfriend. His pen name was Richard Sudbury. And most people would be like, oh, that's kind of a stretch, right? Oh, there's Richard. And of course, there's Richard. I love his pen name so much. It's my Wi-Fi password. It's my password to get my 401k account in different ways.
I was going to say.
It's not just hashtag Richard Sudbury.
To clarify for anybody who knows him, you will not get in with those pieces of information.
No, there's a lot more that goes with it.
Social security number is.
But then it came to me, I was like, oh, of course. Why? If he came through and the medium was like, oh, Charles Hammond Gibson's here. Like, I'd be like, you researched what museum you were doing the benefit for.
Because you don't relate to him as that. You relate to him as Richard under his pen name.
Because that was his pen name.
Right.
And I was like, oh, he's letting me know he's here. And it freaked. It was so powerful. I was speechless. And I was like, yes, I know exactly who that is. So it was a wonderful experience. Well, of course, I mean, he was known for mixing gin in his third floor bathroom during Prohibition. He would have cocktails, but while he, in maybe the 20s through the 50s, he had already decided that his family home in Back Bay, Boston would be a museum. So he would rope off rooms of the house when he would have cocktail parties. And so he would make everyone sit on the grand staircase because he was like, you can't sit on any of the furniture. So, of course, why wouldn't he be at a party that was in benefit of the house that he left behind?
That he loved so much.
Right.
So, of course, like, we made a great party and a great private club in Back Bay. Why wouldn't he be there?
Right.
And why wouldn't he speak up and be like, hey, we've communed multiple times, but now we have somebody to say, hey, it's Richard. And he's here. And I was like, oh, Charlie's here.
That is so cool.
It freaked me out and it was wonderful.
It was a good freak.
Yeah. I can't wait. I'm going to go see him again this fall, that particular medium, because he knew so many things. He read jewelry. He was supposed to spend like 10 minutes with me reading my tarot cards. We spent like a half hour. He read jewelry. He read,
like jewelry you were wearing?
Yeah. Because some people have the gift of reading jewelry. They can see like, oh, this is from a certain person. This means something in particular.
I guess it's like,
it was pretty great.
There's certain people that are really good with like haunted objects.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
They know about certain things about objects, where they came from, what possibly could be in things. So that makes sense that someone else could do that because it holds energy, and
absolutely,
that's interesting.
It makes me very curious about, and I know I'm not a skeptic, but I know a lot of people who maybe are listening or maybe who just think about this kind of thing in general are skeptics. I would be interested to bring a piece of jewelry that I very much knew the whole history to somebody, to then just sit there and not give any information and see how accurate it was. Like I have my grandmother's engagement ring that she wore her entire life, and that it was purchased and made just for her. So it'd be interesting to see.
Maybe you should bring that on our trip next weekend and see if we can find someone, and see if
the idea of bringing that piece of jewelry anywhere makes me so nervous. I'm one of those people who like get something fancy and then I get so nervous about it that I lock it away someplace.
And don't ever want to wear it. Absolutely.
And that's so sad because it's like this piece of jewelry was given to you to wear, to embrace. But I'm so nervous something bad will happen to it. Maybe if I get like a really sturdy chain and I can wear it around my neck.
Really interesting if we could find someone next weekend on our trip. To find someone that might be able to
totally spook me out. I know my mom went to a medium and I didn't even know she believed in that kind of stuff. And the medium was like, I think my mom was disappointed. The medium was very focused on me instead of her. And the things that this medium said, my mom didn't even know about my apartment. They were describing the full layout of my apartment to my mom.
And this is the apartment she had before this one, correct? Yeah.
Yeah, my mom had been in my apartment exactly one time, and this medium was telling her, like, your daughter is trying to tell you something. You're not listening to her. She keeps telling you that she can't sleep. It's not about sleep. You're not listening to her. Her bed needs to move from the location that it's in. Her bed, she cannot sleep there. My mom's like, what are you talking about? What do you mean the location her bed is in? And she's like, why is her bed across the front door of her apartment? And I lived in a very old building. And so the front door was non-functional, totally illegal in the state of Massachusetts, but we'll go past that. So my bed, I was in my early 20s. I had put up like some kind of wall hanging, and I just put my bed there because there was a whole fireplace and steam heating unit, and it was a studio. So there was really no place to put your furniture if you didn't put it directly in front of this door. And this woman was adamant. She was like, if she does not move that bed, she will not sleep. It will not be good. She needs to move the bed. And my mom calls me. She's like, this medium is cracked. She seems to think that you would put your bed in front of a door. And I'm like, holy shit, my bed is in front of my door.
Wow.
And who would ever, like, that's such a random thing.
That's not something you can, like, infer.
No.
Yeah.
And at that point in time, my mom and I didn't talk all the time. We didn't have a good relationship. And so I had experienced things within my home that I hadn't shared with her. And the medium explained almost all of them down to a T. And my mom was like, well, I don't know about any of that. And so when my mom called me, she was like, oh my God, that's exactly what the medium said happened to you. And I didn't know any of it.
Wow.
So I've been dying to see a medium, but I haven't done it.
I've wanted to.
I'm worried the medium's
this trip.
Maybe we should.
I mean, what better place than where we're going, right?
Definitely look into who you're going to before you go.
Yes, 100%. It's just like anything. There's going to be people who say they can do something. And I feel like certain areas are like hot spots for that kind of thing. Where we're going, definitely one of those hot spots.
And again, you have some people who are just there for entertainment.
Right.
And like, it's not a problem, but you have people there who actually have a gift.
So where we're going in America, we went to a shop together, right? And they were taking readings in the back room, but just looking at the shop, I'm like, oh, this looks like made in China, threw up in here, and it's not very legit.
When we went, it was very commercial.
Very.
And I was very disappointed. But I think we have a few other options up there. Yeah.
Well, if you know of one, please let us know.
Well,
drag us along.
Like I said, you guys won't be in that area, but South Shore does have some great
we could
stops.
Be in that area, though. I mean,
make an appointment.
I only
Virginia
live...
Russell's Tea Room in Quincy, Mass. He was fantastic.
I think it would be interesting too to go to somebody who you already had an experience with, just because I feel like oftentimes there's so many people who read tarot or so many people who are mediums and do mediumship that you're talking about a different experience because the person who did it was very different.
Yeah.
I know one of the girls that I'm friends with, she also loves to have tarot read. So she has like a spot, I think it's in Northampton, that she loves to go to. And she's like, that's where I'll go. Like, I don't know why. She's like, I relate to this person. I connect with this person. That's where I'll go.
Interesting.
I've never had my tarot read though. No, I mean, I've had friends who tell me they can read tarot, but like, probably can't.
No, I haven't had my tarot read either, but it's
maybe I'm afraid. I'm like, what's it going to say?
I know, right? Is it going to be something bad? Which it could be. I mean, honestly.
I feel like
it's not always good.
Read it, and then a lot of times people internalize based off of what they know onto the cards.
Yeah.
That's the way that I kind of perceive
interpretation.
it.
I feel like also
there's definitely interpretation that you have to do. But with like, tarot cards.
With the Bible too. Like just kind of going back to our childhood, like there's interpretation with it.
With everything.
With everything.
With
like,
everything in life, it comes down to experiences.
Take things down to like, oh, this is the death card, you're gonna die. Like that's not.
Yeah, no, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
It's the death of something. It's kind of the way that I understand it. Like, or people will say like a card is in reverse, so it comes out of the deck upside down. And then it doesn't necessarily mean the opposite of literally whatever it is. It could mean growth in a different direction instead of death or something like that. So today, to end our episode, we're going to try something a little bit different. We've been doing the cards for a long time, and while we feel like that's still very important, we kind of wanted to leave off on more of a positive and happy note. So Hannah has been doing this challenge throughout the summer while she's taking her time off, and she is reviewing and watching every horror movie in this pack that she bought. So we're going to do a random Hannah reviewed of a horror movie at the end of each of our episodes. If you guys hate it, write in, let us know. If you love it, write in, let us know. If you have feedback about Hannah's review or the movie in general, or one that you want her to review, let us know.
So I have been going a little outside the pack, I will say.
Uh-oh, she already broke it.
But the horror movie pack that you can scratch off has been so much fun. I actually did it with Rob yesterday, and I said, Rob, pick a card, whatever calls to you. And we ended up watching the absolute classic of The Silence of the Lambs, which was phenomenal. But the movie I want to talk about today is called The Witch.
Okay.
And it's by Robert Eggers as a director. He's the same guy that just did Nosferatu that just came out last year that, of course, Courtney came with me. So The Witch, actually, it has a huge basis in Salem. And then the family gets shunned and they have to go find their own way in the land of Massachusetts. The main actress is Anya Taylor-Joy, which I think a lot of people saw in Queen's Gambit. She's a phenomenal actress, but she was actually young during this movie. So it's about her kind of finding her way and the way the Puritans were with religion. And she told everyone she was a witch, but she wasn't. But then it's spooky. It's crazy. They're afraid of the woods because something lives there. It's very dark and dreary and there's no hope. And it's just how you probably would picture Puritan life back in the day, where there just was no happiness in anything you did. All it was shame, and we're all gonna die, and we're all sinners, and regret. And so It's phenomenal. I actually made my mom watch it. She didn't like it as much as Nosferatu, which was fine, but I absolutely loved this movie. I thought the acting was phenomenal. The storyline was phenomenal. I highly recommend it. I actually give it 5 out of 5 stars.
That's awesome. What year did that one come out, if you don't mind me asking?
Good question. I have that right here. It came out in 2015.
Okay, so it's not a terribly old film.
No.
I know some people will ask that about films where they really can't get into like the old school horror. And I know Hannah and I have had conversations. Sometimes I'm here while she's watching her movie. I'm working diligently.
Courtney.
But sometimes I know for myself, I have a harder time getting into the older horror movies just because I'm like, eye roll. Yeah, okay.
I think Robert Eggers is a little bit like Tim Burton, where he kind of picks these actors and actresses that they really like. So the father that's in this film is Ralph Ineson. He also was in Nosferatu.
Okay.
So I think he likes certain actors and actresses, kind of like Tim Burton, where he loves Johnny Depp, and now he's liking Jenna Ortega, and kind of having these people act for him. But phenomenal. I absolutely loved it.
And you said 5 out of 5 was your final rating. 5
out of 5.
And on a creepy scale, I want to try to do a creepy scale as we're getting closer to Halloween. 5 being the very most creepy you've ever seen. 1 being like, I've seen a lot better creepy. What does it score on the creepiness scale?
So I find that's a very hard question, only because, like, are we looking for like a gory creepy?
That's why I'm asking it. Why would I ask you a simple question? Why would I ask you a simple question?
If religious trauma and the occult scares you, I would definitely give it a 3 out of 5.
Okay.
On the gore scale, probably only 1 out of 5.
I think I'm glad you brought that up, because that's an important element too. There are some people who really love scary and spooky.
Yes.
But they absolutely can't do the gore. So
yes.
I think we should probably do a gore rating too moving forward.
I agree. So yeah, there's not
and
a lot of
gore.
gore.
Any kind of trigger warnings we'll let you guys know too. As always, we try to be really mindful about everybody's mental health and making sure that you guys all know if there's going to be something that could be potentially
110%.
triggering.
And the fact that we're doing this now, I'm actually going to be very particular about my ratings that I'm giving these, because I do want to tell you guys like what it is about the film I liked, what I didn't like about it, what trigger warnings are important, because I do know how I find out about these films. Like, people tell me trigger stuff beforehand, but this is definitely a religious trauma type, and actually in terms of like abuse, like I wouldn't say there's anything like that, just a lot of religious trauma and the occult. So if you don't like that, don't watch it.
And you do post all of these reviews on your Bookstagram as well, correct?
I've been trying to be so good about that, yes.
It's Hannah's.bookcase on Instagram if you want to see the books she's reading, or if you want to see kind of a sneak peek about the different movies that she's watching.
I know, I've been going away from books lately and doing horror films, but it's just kind of been my niche lately that I've been enjoying, so.
You're mixing it up. Nothing wrong with that.
Mixing it up. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye, Wanderers.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening today. Wicked Wanderings is hosted by me, Hannah.
And co-hosted by me, Courtney.
And it's produced by Rob Fitzpatrick.
Music by Sasha N.
If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to leave a rating and review, and be sure to follow on all socials. You can find the links down in the show notes. If you're looking for some really cozy t-shirts or hoodies, head over to the merch store. Thank you for being a part of the Wicked Wanderings community. We appreciate every one of you. Stay curious, keep exploring,
and always remember to keep on wandering.
A Studio 113 production.